Some company come to us and asking like why fresh. Obviously there are a lot of salespeople around the world.
We'll sell it probably 1/4 of the time that they can sell it. Sales happens over emotions. The thing is, the buyer should be emotional and the seller should be logical. If it's a ulta, you will make sales but you will still make loss.
When we are trying to convince somebody, when we are trying to persuade somebody, this is the thing that I want you to do, that is sales.
And also this is the best thing that you can do.
Exactly. People always buy with emotion and justify it with logic.
If the girl doesn't show up for the second date, you basically are a very bad salesperson.
Exactly. You know what is Batman's superpower?
Welcome to the fresh episode of Fresh Shocks podcast, actually the Sold Out podcast. I'm your host Rahul.
Karthik.
SSR.
Okay, today we are going to discuss about, before that, why Fresh Shocks? What's going on here? Why are we here together?
See, I think the reason why we are here is, we all have a shared passion for sales.
Okay.
And this is something that we've all been interested in doing. And I think that is the reason why we've kind of come together.
Okay. Fresh Shocks is what? Why?
You want me to actual-
You don't have to tell like what the company does, but then why the name Fresh
Fresh
Shocks?
Shocks is a visualization that I had long ago for a community that is thriving in terms of the thing that we are going to talk about. So I met Karthik and had that spark when we shared the same passion.
Now let's come to the how we met part, but then the name Fresh Hawks define.
He owns Fresh.
So
came
this
up
is
with
this is like, again, it came up during one of my crazy dreams, I would say. Fresh actually stands for focused, rapid, ethical sales hacking. So we're talking about sales hacking here, right? So it's a completely different thing compared to, let's say, computer hacking or software hacking or something like that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to focus on a particular system or a product or an industry and try and solve any one problem, which is again a sales problem here, which would, ideally we want to do it as quickly as possible. So the rapid and ethical, of course, it has to be ethical. Whatever we try to sell should be an ethical way of selling really. Sales hacking is basically all about creating a system that works for you, making sure that the sale actually happens. So that is Fresh.
That's Fresh, and sales has this stigma, right, on both and stuff. So that's why he has this word ethical. That's something that I like.
Right. In fact, many people think that sales is a bad word. They think that it's people are trying to con you into selling something or something that is very unethical.
Yeah.
It's like trying to really make you buy something that you don't want.
Yeah.
So that's not what we want to do here. What we are trying to say is sales is actually not a bad thing, and it should be what it is. And we all know how much of sales we've all done in our lives.
Yeah.
And knowing what we know, sales is the department from which 90% of Fortune 500 CEOs come from. So I think that's the reason why we're all here.
That's the reason Fresh comes up, but Hawks it sounds better. That's all.
Yeah, it's just cool.
We don't have any definition for Hawks.
Hawks is just cool.
Yeah.
Hawks is cool. The marketing version of it is Hawks are, they have a longer vision, they plan, they hunt as individuals.
They get
but
perspective of
they
what's
live
going
as
on.
a community, but they'll hunt individuals. And they're very sharp. Hawks, eagles, that entire family. And they
see
migrate in a way, that's very scientific. So all those things related to me. But then I kept the
Hawks
name
can
because...
see chicken,
Abdiya.
even from a very long distance.
Oh, yeah,
No
no.
pun intended.
Sami sir.
Full pun intended, yes.
No, the thing is, I used to like the Street Hawks,
Okay.
the TV series.
I remember this was when our man was still in his cradle, I
Yeah,
think.
when Batman was...
Yeah, when Batman was still a child.
Okay, this is a Fresh Shock podcast. Actually, it's a sold out podcast. You'll know what the meaning of sold out once after, 3 or 4 episodes. So for now, I'll introduce myself. I'm Rahul. I started my career as a software engineer, and then I started into content creation. Went pretty well. Started my own business, and I took care of everything from marketing to sales to product development, and then it's going pretty well. I'm pretty young and I have only very less experience when compared to the other folks, but yeah,
Why are you
doing
here?
good, I guess.
Why are you here? The same.
Oh, he
We'll
just
talk
made us
about it.
look like couple of oldies here, man.
No,
I mean, seriously.
couple of expertise, I would say, not oldies.
Very,
I think for the next episode we should color our hair and
No, I'm just giving respect.
just trying to do that.
okay, but seriously, why are you here?
We'll talk about why I'm here, why we are here, but then let's introduce.
Right. So I'm Karthik. I'm a ex-software developer. Did my software engineering, computer science masters at Iowa State University. Subsequently came back here. Now I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm in multiple businesses. The one thing that actually kind of helps me grow is my passion for sales. So that's the reason why we are here. And I'm into manufacturing. I'm into entertainment. I'm in the food and beverage industry. So multiple things really.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is architect SSR. I am a business mentor.
People know me. I don't have to introduce.
So this is you saying that hey, it's me.
I'm pretty famous actually. I don't have to introduce myself.
This is architect
Famous guy.
SSR. I am a business mentor and I teach business to architects through my community. I have more than 10,000 architects there. And I have my own firm where I practice design. It's called Space Mesh. Apart from that, I identify myself as a visual marketer. I'm a strategist and I like solving problems. So that's about it.
So now let's talk about why we are here. Like we have nothing in common other than sales, and that's why we are here.
The passion, shared passion
shared
for sales.
passion.
Yes.
And we all three are into business for they are in the business for quite long time, but
மாப்பிள்ள தான்.
okay. So a couple of weeks back, I got a call from SR, and then he was pitching some idea. We were discussing for a very long time, and then here we are together. So what's the deal? What's the deal here? Why are we here?
Actual deal.
Yeah.
The deal thing is, I understand the importance of entrepreneurship and the importance of sales in entrepreneurship. And when I introduce...
No, the reason I ask is you come from an architecture
Okay,
background.
why we are together?
You are a business owner for a long time, and then I am a content creator or software engineer or whatever, and then we suddenly decided to take up sales. Why?
Okay, that's what. Sales is very important, and I know the importance of sales and entrepreneurship. Sales in entrepreneurship. Whenever you speak to any creative person, I come from a creative background, they keep sales as a secondary thing. I know the importance of it. I keep telling them, no, you can do whatever you want, but if you're not able to sell it, you don't make money, you're not a good entrepreneur. As I said, 90% of the Fortune 500 CEOs come from sales. So we didn't meet for this. That's a backstory. We didn't meet for this. We were meeting for some other problem he had where he wanted to check if I'm able to collaborate with him. During the discussion, I identified that his eyes also sparked when I mentioned the word sales. And the things that I knew, someone else knew. Things that I approached, I approached a few things in a different way. He also approached. Then when we talked about it, suddenly he mentioned fresh, right? And he gave that explanation. That's where he hooked. And then I told him, okay, let us do this, but let us start from fresh because this will lead us there. So that's how the whole thing happened. And we met like 3-4 times and just ideating, convincing each other. I mean, I was convincing myself, he was convincing himself that are we going to do this? So that's why we are here. And when we wanted to do, we needed a superhero. So we thought we'll give Batman a call. So you know the rest of the story. Like
Yeah.
the next 2 weeks and we are here. So
Yeah.
we are here to discuss about it. I would say break the myth about it and see if the experience that we have, which is rightly said. I'm not a superhero, but I have 16 years of experience. The same with him. You are almost 10 years old. You are not that old either. I mean, you are not that young either. So that experience doesn't have any shortcut. So anyone listening to us, they are going to spend their time, which is a part of their life. I think they'll have a lot of takeaways, good takeaways and values, and that's why I wanted to do this. That's my personal.
So I think what we're trying to do is also like trying to bring people together and kind of help them really understand what they can do with the potential that they have.
Yeah.
So I think that will be a good starting point. We've done, the community has given us so much, and we've all become successful because of the way in which the community has treated us.
Okay.
So as sales professionals who made it, very decently well in the last few years. I think this is our way of giving something back to the community.
All right. So I'll quickly tell about what the Freshhawk company does. I think SR would tell what Freshhawk stand for and what is going to do. What's the mission is going to be?
The purpose is sales. Let's not beat around the bush. The thing is, we'll not sell anything. That is something that I don't believe in. We'll sell where the time and effort and the strategies and the brain power gets us maximum returns. That's the first part. We've identified only 2 verticals so far.
Which is?
This real estate.
See, real estate was the obvious choice.
Obvious choice. And real estate, I honestly believe people don't know how to sell real estate, at least in our, they are approaching it differently. That's what I believe. And the other is, this morning we were discussing about it. The real estate is one confirmed with this thing. Probably we'll have 5 verticals which give us a lot of return.
See, I think the associated vertical with real estate is AEC.
AEC, yeah.
Right?
AEC is another thing.
Real estate, AEC kind of go hand in hand.
Industries.
And yes, industrial sales,
I
industrial
haven't no
products.
clue, but he's been into that.
Yeah,
for a long
I've actually been in industrial sales for a very long time. So, and I really understand how industrial products kind of work, because it's the same kind of products like, let's say, real estate, but it's like it has to be given to a particular market. The market is or the players in that market are very specific, and when it comes to industrial sales, it's always very technical. So one particular product may have a different composition and so on. So it's kind of very technical, but it's again very, very much doable.
Those 3 are so far confirmed. The other 2, we will probably do 5. Again, we'll do a proper analysis and see which will give us the most return. Not more than 5 verticals. And again, when I say real estate, we are not going to approach the traditional way that people do real estate. We have our own game plan, which if you watch.
That's what I was going to ask. Like if some company come to us and asking like why Fresh, when there are a lot of salespeople around the world.
We'll sell it probably 1/4 of the time that they can sell it.
Okay.
We'll strategize. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, and also the other problem is you don't need like a sales team to sell what you have.
See, having a sales team definitely helps, but I wouldn't say that is the only limiting factor. Because see, most of the times what happens is like what we are actually trying to achieve here is to have a thriving community of people who are probably already in sales. And of course, we will discuss more on the community part later stages.
The business part of it, as you said, yeah, here Freshhawks is all about sales. We will have 5 verticals. You'll be the guys strategizing and stuff. But then the last mile execution will be done by the Hawks.
Yeah.
Who will be on-demand sales experts.
Some Chris could be watching this video, who knows?
Yeah, many of them are Hawks actually. They don't realize.
Yeah, the reason you hit a video where it says sales, then you're a hawk here.
And Hawks. Yeah.
Yes.
So the thing is, the last mile sale, that's one of the most important. I call it the conversion, money in the pocket, deal. And for that, to do the strategy that we have, we need independent sales prunas. Right? They should think like an entrepreneur, and they should have that mindset, and they should approach sales the same way we do. So the idea is, we want to create an on-demand sales prunas where any business, they can just pick, if their domain is here, they can just hire, just like how you hire a on-demand call driver or on-demand artist or anyone.
Spending
they can
zero
hire,
money upfront.
Exactly.
will be trained by us, transformed by us. They'll have all the system supports that we have. Plus, from a business perspective, real estate particularly, it's the volatility is more. Like 3 months of the year, the sales will be high. The next 6 months, dry. In the last 3 months, again, we'll have this thing. Now, to have a proper trained sales team through those lean patches, it's very tough from an operational point of view. Now, here, if they come to Freshhawks, what we say is, you pick and choose. You can see the portfolio, the numbers they've sold. You can interview them, whatever you do. You pick a salesperson. We'll give the strategy, all the tools. They make the sale and then you make the money, give them money. So, it's like no-brainer.
Yeah, no-brainer.
Instead of hiring someone, you just on-demand, and you can try it out. Again, if the person doesn't convert, the salesperson doesn't get money. And that's how an entrepreneur will look at it. An employee mindset will not help this.
Yeah.
So, an entrepreneur mindset will help this because you are confident on yourself that you will get that deal. So, you will be willing to convert it and then get the money.
See, every sale, as you rightly said, is completely incentivized. So as and when there is an incentive for a person to make a particular sale, that's the reason why they get that kick out of getting that sale. It's a dopamine hit really. You know, every sale, more than the money, it's about when you take the client's check, when you take the purchase order, it's a complete dopamine hit. And when there is an associated money aspect along with it, yeah, it's just icing on the cake. But then again, what's the point of having the icing if there is no cake?
Yeah.
So the cake is basically to make sure that okay, this is the product, this is the sale, you've made the sale, so now enjoy the icing, enjoy the money.
Right.
Sales, we strategize. That's the first part. Second part, we have an on-demand sales community. That is the unique thing that we come up with. I don't know, we consider it as unique. Elsewhere in the world, if someone had the same idea, they're also as brilliant as us. That's it. The third thing is, it's always lonely at the top when you're an entrepreneur. Okay, you might have 100 employees, but you won't be called for a team lunch or a outing. Like you're still the boss. You're the joke when everyone is sitting together. So it's very lonely at the top. So I realized it when I started my entrepreneurship, because I was an employee and then entrepreneur. Employee life is chill. Like you can chill. Entrepreneur life is you're lonely at the top. So I realized the power of being together with a community, like-minded people who share the same ideas. And there's a saying, right? You're the sixth. I mean, if there are five people,
millionaires,
And
you're
you're
the
an
sixth.
average of 5 people
Yeah.
around you.
yeah, you got the thing, right? So surrounding ourselves with the community is very, very important, because there are a few things that I really don't know, which you've taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot. So the same way, if they're all together and every day when you wake up and you have a community, even when you are down, others will pull each other up and you can share ideas and do. And you get to learn what is happening across the domain. So as a person who's already developing, who has a developed community for architects, right? 3 years, and I engage with 10,000 architects. So I've seen architects from 18 years till 45, 50 years in my community. I know how they help each other. You just have to start the community. They will help each other and they'll thank you for helping each other. So we just create the platform. So that's the third part of Sales Ops, Fresh Ops. The thing is a community. And I believe, I always say, right, if you're an entrepreneur, stop creating companies, start creating communities, because there are a lot of good things to be done and a lot of money to be made.
That's
the third part.
exactly what we are doing right now.
That's Fresh Ops.
Yeah. We're trying to basically build community of salespreneurs,
Exactly.
not just sales people. And if you are one among them and you still have not hit the subscribe button, you suck.
Oh, yeah.
You are losing.
No one could have said that better
No, serious. You are
than
gonna,
Batman himself.
you are going to lose making what? More than a crore the next fiscal year.
When I was a software engineer, I realized that, I've never thought myself as a salesperson or someone who does sales in a daily basis. And then one fine day, I realized that a couple of my peers were struggling to get a job. And then I was somehow easily able to crack any job without having much knowledge. Then I realized, okay, I am able to sell myself to someone even though I'm not qualified enough. So basically what I'm trying to say is, even though someone is working in a regular job who has nothing to do with sales of any sort, they might think that sales is not something that I want to do for my everyday basis. But I would argue that anything that you do that convinces someone else is basically a sale. You either sell to someone or you are being sold. These are the two things that has been happening in your life, even you, without realizing it. So why am I saying this? Is because I'm just trying to discuss with you that, why is it necessary for anyone who's watching this video that they should be able to think as a salesperson in their daily life. Can you give some example?
Right.
Just like how I did for a
Everyone is a salesperson. They don't realize it. We'll
See,
explain why.
when you look at sales, people think that sales is only about selling a product.
Yeah.
Well, although it is partially true, it's not the only definition of sales. What we're trying to do is, when we are trying to convince somebody, when we are trying to persuade somebody that, okay, this is the thing that I want you to do, that is sales.
And also, this is the best thing that you can do.
Exactly. It should be a win-win situation for both of us. Let's say if I am trying to persuade you to do something for me, that is sales. I am trying to say that this is the right thing for you to do, and also help me along the way and help yourself along the way by doing what I want you to do. That is sales. Imagine sitting in front of your boss. You're trying to tell him that these are the reasons why
you need promotion.
Exactly. You want a promotion, you want a raise in your salary. You know, most bosses will have this yearly review meeting. And at that time, if you don't sell yourself properly, if you sell yourself short, well, that's not really going to help your career, is it?
Exactly.
Because most of the times, if you don't explain to them what is it that you want and how is it that you have contributed, that is all sales. You are persuading somebody, and that is a very crucial thing. And sales is something that everybody does in a daily basis. Yeah. Imagine your wife will be like the best salesperson ever, because you can never say no
she
to her.
gets things done.
You can never say no to her, right? Yeah. So she's the best salesperson.
And also, if you go to I don't know how many of you have gone to any of her dates, but if you go to a date and then if the girl doesn't show up for the second date, you basically are a very bad salesperson.
Exactly.
You did not sell yourself properly to her.
You suck.
Yeah, you did suck. So yeah, it's just part of the life. So don't associate the word sale to scam or something of a negative connotation.
That's true. It's like persuasion. Like you wanted to play, let's say, football at school, and your father is more of like study well, get good marks and stuff. The fact that you are able to convince your father to get into that football camp and get trained right, you did few things. All the gimmicks that you did, you would have studied well, act when they come.
Show some prizes.
Make your faculty members sing praises about you. Make your mother say that he's studying from the evening and stuff. So you are convincing the psyche of your father to say, okay, fine, go and play. Now that was the first sale probably many would have done in their life.
Yeah.
And it applies to everything. Wife, parents, sold out to 7, 8, 9 girlfriends.
Yeah.
All those things. And selling ourselves in the marriage market, matrimonial market,
exactly,
job market.
Dudes, like if you apply the matrimony, the probability of you getting in the top is just like one filter away. And if a girl just puts like, hey, more than 1 lakh, then you're out.
And even friendship, like see, you will have 30, 40 guys in the classroom.
Yeah.
You will like one person. Like I'm talking about a normal friendship. You like that person. Now you have to go and sell your friendship to them. I mean, they should also.
Why should that person be friends with you?
Yeah. If you are associated with me, then
if you look at most of the friendship, you don't go and say, "Hey Rahul, I want to."
You want to be friends.
You don't sell that.
Yeah.
That's what sales is about. The best salespeople, they never
sell.
Right.
That's true.
So if I have to go to him, he has to genuinely like me, and there should be some shared passion or something. Only then we can become friends. So sales is something similar. Right? You can't sell everything. You can sell only something that you already know and which you feel will work, right? Creating a friendship, having a girlfriend, selling yourself in the matrimonial market, job market, or even
deals.
Convincing someone to go to this movie. Like I convince my guys to go to I can't name it. A recent movie of a big superstar. I took my entire class, my entire office. I was a fan of. The movie was
Okay, so is that why you said I was a fan and you are not
I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of it. But then the movie was bad. The movie was bad, but then I convinced everyone, right? So if you convince him to take, that is sale. So selling your idea, selling your anything.
They convinced me to be here.
Exactly. See,
exactly.
One thing that you noticed was, I did mention in the podcast previously, that we were meeting each other for like 3-4 times after the idea came, and we are trying to convince ourselves. When I said ourselves, I was trying to convince me. I was very particular in using that word, and he was trying to. Because I knew I can't convince him. He knew he can't convince me, so we were convincing ourselves. But that was not the case with you because we wanted Batman to help us.
Yeah, so, you need a superpower.
So we were able to. Our approach to you was we were telling you why you will like it or why it will benefit you. That's it. So. Sales.
I mean, on a very, very kind of a fun note, do you know what is Batman's superpower?
Sales. Man.
Do you know what Batman's superpower is? Like everybody has a superpower,
he has
right?
no power.
You know what is Batman's superpower?
He made the entire world assume that he is a superpower.
Batman's superpower is he's rich.
Yeah.
He's got money. Money is a superpower. And you know what? I want to connect that to what we're trying to do here. It's like if you're a salesperson and if you are an insanely successful salesperson, you become Batman. You become, you become untouchable. You have so much of money. And that is, see, I'm not saying it in a wrong way, in a negative way, but it's something that we are all striving for. It's all something that
Again,
we
money
look
is
forward.
also like one of those topics where it's considered taboo, even though
Everybody wants.
Like, who doesn't want to have like extra 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees?
And what is wrong?
Yeah.
What is wrong in being, abundant? If you we're talking about abundance here, what is wrong in being rich?
Money is the most important thing that everybody needs in life.
Precisely.
Because it's not the only important thing.
It is not the only thing. You're right.
It's the most important thing.
Exactly. But there are so many other things, but this is a very, very important aspect. And I think we should stress that here, saying that, Batman is the richest.
If you are rich, you can
super-
become a super. Oh,
It's so
Super.
it's so funny that
Well, I don't know.
no.
no, it's so funny that I was talking the next video that I'm going to post is going to come, I don't know, in 1 or 2 days. By the time you guys are watching, the video that I'm talking about will be in my channel, where I was talking about like what's the next goal for me, and then it doesn't matter what like higher level, like whatever I think about, then everything comprises to, okay, if I have this much money, then I'll be able to do so many things now, which I now really cannot. So that's the whole. But it's not about making money, but what comes after making money. So don't dissociate yourself with from the word sale. It's just for everybody, you, me, and for everybody. And the next thing that I want to discuss about is SR and Karthik. When was the first time that you realized that sale is something very important, but I don't have the skill? When did you come across such a situation?
See, of course, I've been in sales for the last 13, 14 years now. Right from my early days, I've never been formally educated in sales. Really,
Yeah,
I never had a formal education. I don't have an MBA in sales and marketing or anything like that. This is something that just started off. I had a mentor and he helped me out with a lot of things, and he was like, okay, the best way to learn about sales is to actually get into the market and try your hand at it. It's like, as they say, you have to jump into the water to really learn swimming. I mean, if you're just going to see videos about sales, listen to other people talking about sales, you'll get a lot of theoretical knowledge, but then you'll never really, you have to really try it out. And that's what I did. And the initial days were actually quite difficult. I would say that it was, it's not easy to convince people because I don't come from that background. The initial days were like, you're talking about.
Embarrassing. Like
It's quite embarrassing. It's quite embarrassing when you're sitting against people. See, most of the times when you're trying to sell something, let's say you are the client and we both are trying to sell you something. I'm from company A, he's from company B, and if he is vastly more experienced, he will be able to relate to you very quickly as a client and make me look like a fool. That has happened to me many times. But how did I manage to get out of it? See, and it's not easy. I mean, like when you're a 25-year-old and then the opposing side is being led by a vice president or somebody like that who is having vastly more experience than you, then you're going to have to come up with something that is completely different. So one thing I realized was, how can I make the client remember me? There is always something called as brand recall. Most of the small brands may find it difficult to do it because we really don't have the budget.
Yeah.
But then most of the bigger brands, they have budgets. That's why you always have major cine stars associated with something. Like say today I talk about Amitabh Bachchan. I know, okay, Amitabh Bachchan came for Kalyan jewelry ad. You see, that's the kind of brand recall that we have, right? So what is it that I can do to make the client really think of me, right? So I started coming up with unique ways of responding to them. Most people were, the bigger companies, I would say. When you're going up against bigger companies, there is always a set way of doing business. So they'll be like, okay, you have to make an appointment, you have to do this, you have to fill out this form, this, that, and everything. But with me, I completely changed that practice. I was like, okay, I'll be the one who will answer your call and I'll take the next flight out and come and meet you even if I don't get the sale. and that has helped me. See, being spontaneous, being responsive to the client's needs, like how quickly, because every small business, when you are going up against a bigger business, the bigger business is more like an elephant. It's like it moves slowly but steadily, right? But then you got to be a horse. You got to move quickly. You got to, and that's what smaller companies can do. And eventually, over a period of time, these smaller companies do become bigger ones too, right? But then how can you differentiate yourself in the market, especially when you're going up against more experienced people? So yes, definitely, if you ask me, there have been many embarrassing situations.
But what did you do with like, for example, in the initial days, you might have, been in a situation where you wanted to sell something, but then there's no conversion. Like, what was the mindset, and like, what did you do in order to, come back? And
See, during times like that, the most important thing that you need as a salesperson who is going through a lot of difficulties is to have a proper mentor and a support system. And I was lucky to have it, right? And hearing about those experiences of how they have gone through difficult times as well, that kind of keeps you going. That okay, these people, they have also gone through. My mentor has also gone through the same problems, and he has made it big today. And I know if I go through the same thing, I can make it big as well. So that is having that support system, having a strong mentorship. Is very crucial, and I think that is something that we are looking to do with what we are doing here as well.
Yeah.
We are really looking to give a kind of one-on-one mentorship or a group mentorship for people who are actually struggling, because I have seen sales is not easy, because 1 month we will do extremely good numbers. Even as a salesperson working for a company, you make very good numbers 1 month, and then the next month is like complete bullshit. You're not doing anything. But your boss is not going to take that kind of attitude very easily. He's going to be like, okay, last month you did, this month, and this is something that even I have asked to some of my people. Okay, if you have not done your sale, is it okay if I don't pay you your salary? These are questions that people would have been asked. So there will always be embarrassing times. There will always be, but you're going to have to understand that there is a community with you. People like us have also gone through the same thing, and having this kind of a community, a bonding, a mentorship really helps you through these difficult times.
Yeah.
See, I think that's the way to move forward. Really.
Not just with the job, but with other revenues and all.
Everything. Yes.
What about
For me, not a moment. I was so embarrassed the day I realized that I'm a damn good salesperson so far in my life. I was embarrassed because I didn't realize it. That was the day my life, took forward. So I don't mind losing a new lead or sale, because I'm a salesman. I know you win and you lose. That's part of the process. So that doesn't hit me at all. If I lose a business, that's fine. I always say this: the worst sale meeting that you can have is converting the project, but not in your own terms and conditions. That is the worst sale ever. Not losing, because I lose my projects because I didn't want them. So the embarrassing moment, but not as a sale. I say with audacity that I was embarrassed because I didn't realize it. Right from my childhood, I've been good with people, convincing people, right? So anyway, just an example, I'm an architect, right? So I finished B.Arch. On my fourth year, I was just talking with few engineering friends. They said, we'll get placed, you can't get placed. Just for fun, I told, even a donkey can get placed if you read the books and clear the aptitude. That's not a big deal. And I'm talking about 2006-7, when they were just hiring people on campus. All these companies, TCS, CDS, and stuff. I told, I'll get placed next year. And architecture is 5 years, right? The next year when these guys passed out, I was the first guy to get placed in TCS. And I didn't study computer science even in my 11th or 12th, and I studied architecture. I didn't know anything about coding. I know what a flowchart is, algorithm. I spoke through 3 stages of design. I convinced them that they need an architect for TCS to have this lateral thinking, and I just spoke and I convinced the people and I got placed. So I think for me that was a sale, and I was a department secretary. That's sales for me.
Right.
And I convinced few girls,
To
that
what?
they were in love with me.
Okay.
That was it. So the most embarrassing moment in terms of
this. I think we should do a completely different episode on all your love interests.
No. The embarrassing moment that he talks about, which I just realized, and I didn't prepare this. There was one time when I was trying to win a girl back. I strategized, plan, and I I get a dope and I strategize something and I get it done. You would have, I sent a WhatsApp message yesterday, right?
Yeah.
You remember I told I got that thing.
Yeah.
That gives me dope, and he understands the dope. So when I don't get a dope, that is embarrassment. I try to win back a girl, I strategized everything, blah blah blah, and the result didn't go the way I wanted.
Yeah.
But then I'm embarrassed because I didn't realize it would have gone either way, and I shouldn't be the one feeling bad.
Yeah.
Hindsight, I'm not the one feeling bad.
Yeah.
That is embarrassment for me. Otherwise, I made 100 Justel calls in a single day. Justel, Sulekha, when started out, we didn't know where to get a project. Appuram, you were like, cursing yourself for not knowing the theoretical part of sales. Like when you're desperate, you can't do sales.
Yeah. Exactly.
We were desperate and we do it, right? So one point when I realized that, somewhere, when we are talking with friends and probably we are boozing or something, someone told me you're always a good salesman. Someone, I don't even remember who it is. He told right from your childhood you were good with convincing people. You are a salesman. Someone told that I am the Iron Man.
To God, it's just
Okay. So I believed in it. And from that day, the way I look at myself in the mirror is totally different. So once you look at yourself in this thing, you're cool. I mean, you strategize, you win, you lose. You don't give
it's
up.
the part of the game.
I'm not embarrassed. Like even if I want something and I don't get it, deep inside I'll be like, such an idiot, he's missing me and going.
Yeah.
I'll have that audacity inside me to tell, because that is very much needed to keep going. I mean, not just sales, in life and entrepreneurship, there are going to be a lot of failures, very few success. So you should be able to come across those failures, right? Embarrassing moment, the day I didn't win back the girl, that was embarrassing moment.
So you do realize that your wife is also going to be watching this.
Yeah, she knows the story.
Now she gets embarrassed.
She knows the story.
She's gonna be embarrassed now.
I told all the contacts. She knows it 100%.
Fantastic.
My story is like one day I decided, okay, I think I'm a great salesperson. I'm gonna in one of my videos I said, hey, this is the service that I'm gonna offer. If you are interested, just register. 6 o'clock in the morning I started, and till 10 o'clock I could not convert anybody. I wanted to try this high ticket sales.
Okay.
Later I realized that okay, shit, maybe I'm good at convincing masses, but I'm really, really bad at talking to one-to-one. So then it hit me like, okay, there's a lot of ways to do sales. Maybe I'm bad at this, maybe I'm good at this. Anyway, I just have to learn everything. That was one moment that, my ego got hurt.
See, as you rightly said, there is one-to-one and then there is one-to-many.
Many.
And people have different capabilities. And I think we just need to tap into the right thing. See, sometimes, it's easier for people to sell real estate. They might find it difficult to sell industrial products. The industrial products they might find it difficult to sell software. And these kind of things happen everywhere around the world, in every industry, in every market.
Yeah.
So it's about really understanding what each person's individual ability is and how can you kind of make use of it and maximize the potential.
Yeah, maybe if you're very bad at one form and you might be good at another form, so don't judge yourself thinking that if you're stuck at something, then you're stuck at everything. No, that's not the case.
Yeah, that's true.
See, one thing I'd like to revisit is when I said that everybody has done good sales, convincing a father, convincing a friend, girlfriend, anything. I did really mean it. But the problem is, you would have convinced only once. You would have failed 8 times. As a salesperson, if you are trained to be a salesperson, you will observe the pattern. Like what worked, why it worked, what didn't work, why it didn't work, and you test it for a while, and then you figure out, okay, whenever I do this, I get this.
Yeah.
So you are a good salesperson. That's why you are here. I mean, that's why we are here. The thing is, you didn't realize one thing. First thing, you would have been desperate that day, but because you challenged yourself, that's the wrong thing to do in sales. Not this version, not a bad plan. That time when you said you challenge yourself, that's the wrong thing. Second thing is, obviously you fixed a time limit. Like sales should be done. We keep saying, sales happens over emotions. The thing is, the buyer should be emotional. And the seller should be logical. If it's a ulta, you will make sales, but you will still make loss.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. The fact is, everybody is a good salesperson. They don't know the theory behind what worked, and it's just a 3 or 4 step process, which we'll be discussing more. But If they realize that this is the process,
No, I know. I realized because I was like, hey, I'm calling Rahul this side, and this is what my service do you want? It's like the bullshit.
if someone
See,
tells me, like, see, if
no,
someone
I
tells
think-
me I have to sell it to you right now,
Yeah.
if there's a reason why I have to sell this, like I get money and
Yeah.
there's a reason, I might probably give it a shot. But if someone tries to push me into selling this because to prove to you that I'm a good salesperson,
Yeah.
I'll say no, I won't make the sale. The best sales deals that I've done are the ones which I avoided.
Yeah.
See, yeah, as you rightly pointed out, what most people forget is they are not being mindful, they are not really seeing the pattern, right? See, as you very rightly pointed out, what we're trying to say is there might be 5, 7, 9 times you would have failed, and then the 10th time you would have actually done it. Have you really noted down the pattern? No.
No.
Because there is, you're just being mindless. And and you're doing the same mistakes over and over again. Like, this is something that most salespeople do. They do the exact same thing and expect different results. If you do the exact same thing and expect different results, that is never going to happen, because you're just doing
The wrong thing
exactly.
all the
You're,
time.
and you're being mindless about it. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and then suddenly you are expecting sale to happen or a order to come.
No, journaling or noting it down, right? The hawkers. One reason why we have it as fresh hawks is hawkers, right? They are salespeople.
Exactly.
That's another thing. So I'm talking about the previous generation, our previous generation, like who are like 45, 50. Those cycle vendors, when they come now, they'll have a note. Every sale that happened or didn't happen, they will keep journaling it, and that data is very much needed. You know the power of writing things down,
exactly.
right? That will help you identify the pattern. The problem is many people over here, as you said, they've clicked here because they had to click it and they have to listen to us. The other thing is your superpowers are of waste if you don't realize that you have a superpower. Exactly, right? So for you to realize that you have a superpower, you have to document it, and one day you will realize the pattern. Documentation in sales is very, very important. This is one important thing. If you don't document, you can't be a salesperson. Like, you have to document in a paper, pen, or a CRM tool, or anywhere. If you think that I have superpower and I'll keep it here, you lose. Even another embarrassing few things is one point of time, like, my numbers got down. I'm talking about 4-5 years back. The reason was I thought I'm invincible when it comes to sales, and I stopped the basics. Like, you have to do the basics to still be a superhero, right? So journaling is one important thing, noting it down. Like journaling, I mean, as I told, there are 3-4 steps. Anybody can become a good salesperson. And then there are a lot of ways in which you have to approach sales. As you said, high ticket sales, when you're selling it to a mass, or when you're selling it to over the phone, when you're selling it through a TV channel, or when you're doing sales to door to door, cold calling and trying to sell, and selling it to professionals, selling it to gender, selling it to kids.
Email.
So strategy, like who you're selling, what you're selling, how you're selling. He is probably not realizing that he can actually sell anything. But what he told was like, some people might be good in this, some people might be good in that. A good salesperson, we can sell
True,
anything.
true. See,
like, we just need to know who the audience is and what the product is or service.
So one point I want to add here is, see, we're talking about selling, right? When we're talking about selling, it's a very emotional process, right? People buy with their emotions and then justify it with logic,
Logic, yeah.
right? This is something that has always happened.
Yeah.
And the most important thing that any salesperson should do is to be kind of mirroring the client, really. I mean, if you emotionally mirror them, where is your client? Say, most people think that you have to be all rough and tough and sales and this and that, and then you try and do that to somebody who is not in the right frame of mind. They are never going to buy that product. How are you connecting with them? Because people always buy with emotion and justify it with logic.
Yeah, and also they want to buy, they don't want to be sold, they say, right?
Exactly. They want to buy it. I mean, you're just going to have to keep it in front of them and tell them that it is in your best interest to pick it up right now.
Yeah.
Because when we always sell, again, the idea is most very good salespeople, they don't sell. That's what we always say, right? Because we never talk about the cost of buying the product that we're selling.
we always talk about the cost of not buying the product.
Yeah.
And that is what really, kind of pushes them to make the decision in your favor. Because when, and combined with very good emotional connect with the client, I think that's a superpower that most salespeople actually forget that they have.
In our first meeting, he told one thing. Why I got sold out was fresh. That explanation was brilliant. Then randomly he told that salespeople are not salespeople; they are buyers consultant.
Exactly.
That's the best explanation for sales that I've ever listened. I don't know how he came up with that. So the thing you have to do is you have to facilitate. Some people say that you have to persuade the buyer. I would probably say you don't even have to persuade. You have to facilitate the act of buying. That's it. That is sales. And emotional stuff, right? That's why I said, if you're a good salesperson, distance yourself from that, sale.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You lose it, should not affect you.
Yeah, exactly.
And if this person doesn't buy it, the other person will buy it. That's it. So you always distance yourself from the thing. Never get emotional. Doesn't work.
See, as you rightly said, when you
Attached.
the reason why you the buyer's consultant term was actually coined by a consultant that I had many years ago for my business. So that's where I heard this term from him, and it's a very simple thing. Like if you look at the pitfalls of most salespeople, what they do is like where the client is at. If the client is at this level, most of the time the salesperson is right here. I mean, he's much below, trying to beg him for an order. He's like, help me out. I need this sale for this month to hit my target for the month or anything like that. That sale is never going to happen. And even if it does happen,
You can easily see.
it's going to be a very, very bad sale. And the second thing is where you are at the same level as the client. You're like, okay, pick it up if you want, don't pick it up if you don't want. You're not really important to me. This is the product, take it or leave it kind of an attitude. It's a very hit or miss kind of thing. There is a very 50-50 chance that, you'll really get it. Because most of the time, if you say even one thing wrong that is going to hit the client's ego in a different way, then that person is never going to attend your call anymore. Yeah. But then as a buyer's consultant, you want to be in a position to kind of consult for the client, even though you are selling one product. Even though you're selling one product from one brand, you're representing your company, you should be in a position where the client is actually asking you for advice. Should I go for this? Should I go for that? What do you think is the right thing to do? And then when you are at this level as a buyer's consultant, it is practically a given that you will make the sale. Yeah. Because I always say that this is something that has always happened to me. My first client is still my best client, I would say. And I would say, I might have sold, say, one product to him. But then today, if Karthik is selling a car, that client will buy. If Karthik is selling a real estate, he will buy it. If Karthik is selling this table, he will buy it. Furniture, he will buy it. Because that's the, respect that he has as a buyer's consultant. He thinks that I can give him good advice and not really push something onto his head just because I want to make a desperate sale.
Yeah. Never cheat your clients. If you know that's not good for them, never sell it to them. And the other thing that he told in this previous thing, mirroring, right? That's actually a negotiation hack. I listened to Chris Voss once, right? The former FBI person. I was doing my workshop. I wanted content. I was searching for it, and that's a brilliant thing. So when you're listening to people want to be listened to. They want someone to listen to my problem and say. You might be very keen in listening. So that's why he gets little, when I'm doing something else, he's like, good that I'm speaking with you. Like he keeps doing it. But then my superpower is I can do this and listen to it.
So, that's not your superpower. You're just being plain lazy. Come on.
I'm on camera, I don't like.
Maybe that's a superpower.
The best, simplest technique to make others listen to you, whatever they speak, you just mirror the last two words. Like, I'm really hungry and I want to drink this. I'm telling you, you should just ask me, oh, you want to drink this? which means psychologically I am understanding that you're listening to me. You didn't listen the entire sentence. The last one will be there. And as I said, buyer's consultancy. I did tell you, right, Joe Virat. And one car salesperson from the US sold 1,400 cars in a single year, and he won that Guinness Book of Record for 13 years. So I studied about him and how he did that. And from a single car showroom, whether Chevrolet or something, he was there. He moved to be a independent car salesperson, and after a time, he became a celebrity car dealer, and people were queuing him. The reason why he would sell only those many cars, like 1,400 is almost 5 cars a day. He was following his process with the team and everything, but technically the documentation he can do it only for 5 because he needs time. And you know what? I read a lot of things like how he did that, and I couldn't believe the first article, second article, third article, and everywhere he kept telling the same thing. The actual salespeople, good salespeople, they start their service to the client after the sales is done.
Right.
So he genuinely helped them with the insurance, car breakdown, etc., etc. So the initial years, people came to him not for the product alone, the experience, the way he treated them. So that's how his legend grew. And after a point, when you're known,
And I think he was the perfect example of a buyer's consultant.
he was a buyer's consultant.
Exactly.
That's what. That's why I'm even saying that. So, and that's why he was able to, from trying to go and tell them, buy this.
Right.
If you create the trust and genuine trust. I'm not saying do some gimmick or PR or forget it. If you you establish yourself as a person where people can trust you and ask you, and you are going to give them genuine ideas, you are the salesperson. And
Precisely.
13 years of Guinness Book of World Records, 1,400 cars in a year, massive. And that was a strategy, and he kept changing it.
Right.
Buyer's consultant.
If there's one word that you want to remember out of this episode, that is buyer's consultant.
There are a lot of myths. That's what we are trying to break here.
Right.
That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I want you to comment down what is the most embarrassed moment that you've ever heard in your sale experience. I will read through all the comments and I will pin the best comment out there. And that's it, guys. See you in this episode 2.
I'm going to need this work to be done tonight. I'm going to ask for 20% discount and I'm going to pay you after 60 days. It's a completely shitty deal for you.
If they are saying 10, I will achieve 15. You keep your own target. Their target becomes a miniature one. And now you're not working for their target. You're bloody working for my own target. And you look at 15. What is the profit I will make? Sales is all about numbers and profit.